All right, here's a little trick for creating an alternate version if you want to try new ideas with the same instruments. This happens to me all the time. I'm writing and I like where I am, but I wonder, gee, what if I didn't change chords there, or I changed to a different chord over here? Same instruments, same movie, different composition. Now you could do a save as, and that works just fine, but then you have two different sessions open. You have the first version and the second version. So here's a little trick you might find handy. If we re-import the movie, it's already imported, and this also gives me a chance to show you that when you choose a movie and everything else is grayed out, that's the only thing I can choose when I'm importing a movie, Pro Tools will say, well, I'm going to take the old one away. You must not like it anymore, so I'm going to remove it. Then we say OK, and remember this dialog lets us import the audio. There is no audio in this one. And then we get to, aha. So it didn't give me the choice of putting it at the session start this time. It just said, here's where it's going. My alternate system is to re-import the movie and change its start time to an hour and a minute. Now, this track is only 20 seconds long, let's say. So I wouldn't have to go all the way to an hour. I could go to a minute, actually, in the timeline. So what we're talking about is taking all the pieces here and moving them back to the minute mark, right? And now you have the new movie is starting at the minute, and all your sound effects just go back by exactly a minute. And you can have a new version. So you change chords on this version back here, and then you compare it to the first one and compare it to the second one. You can put a marker back here that's easy to get to. And then you could do yet another version back here at the 2-minute mark. And so if you're working with clients, often they want to try things. You know, they'll say, well, I really like where you are up until a certain point, and then could we try this? Now, if you try it and you try it over here, now I guess you've saved your first version. I hope you've saved your first version before you try the new thing. But it's easier just to clone everything, drop it here later in the timeline, make your changes here, and then it's really easy to compare A with B and possibly with C back here at the 2-minute mark. That's a handy trick for keeping all your data in the same session. Now, it would be really handy if we could take these markers and just kind of clone them and drag them back here as we move our movie. But remember, the markers are attached to the timeline. They don't know anything about this movie and what's in it. They're simply points in time. So you will have to move your markers, or you can reset them. But I still like this system, as clumsy as it is sometimes, for just trying new ideas without having to open up another session. Now, this also assumes you not only want the same instruments, the same sounds, but you want to work at the same tempo. Because if you change the tempo back here at the beginning, then all the references back here are going to be off, including your start mark at the minute mark. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with this save as approach, but if you want to try something similar further down the timeline, that's how you do it. And we'll look at this again when we mix.